Stress in the classroom is an educational issue for all involved, both teachers and students. This can even impact the greater community. This issue brings forward a proposal to evolve the educational environment with schools and classrooms so that they are designed to minimise stress while at the same time increasing the learning capability of students. Stress can be minimised and learning ability can be improved through biophilic designed classrooms and schools. Stress is known to have a negative influence on aspects of cognition. So what is stress? The term stress is used rather loosely in general conversations, so in context of the scenario being approached, we will narrow this down. Osdmer relates to the position of the teacher describing stress as having three main components. Firstly, emotional exhaustion. Secondly, withdrawal and cynicism towards students. And thirdly, a sense of underaccomplishment. Faber says that burnout is a reaction to prolonged high stress that commonly results in withdrawing, caring less, or working harder, but often mechanically, to the point of exhaustion. When dealing with education and the susceptible influence of students' minds, we do not want teachers that follow a mechanical process, that don't care or are cynical towards students. These attributes are possibilities in teachers that are suffering from stress. All people involved in a classroom setting, both teachers and students, will be influenced detrimentally. So what are the causes of stress in a classroom? For teachers, they receive pressure to achieve. The APPA has identified practices and related consequences that send a clear message about the unintended consequences that are emerging in Australia. These include pressures on leaders to lift performance, threats to their jobs if results do not improve. Other stresses are feeling left out of the decision-making process, the diversity of students, resources available, conflicts, and sociological factors such as colleagues that may not have the same views on education. Students also feel pressure in the classroom, the pressure to achieve. This can come from themselves, well-intentioned teachers may put pressure on the students, or even teachers that are feeling pressure regarding their own performance and then transferring this to the students. Family also puts pressure on the student as well. There are also sociological stresses as well. Students with different ideas about education and also social issues that occur due to growth and development. The standard classroom, although may be economically easy to maintain, limits creativeness, minimises cognition and harbours stress. Not all students or teachers function at their full potential in this environment. The Australian Professional Standards for Teachers says, Australian schooling promotes equity and excellence and that all young Australians will become successful learners, confident and creative individuals, and active and informed citizens. When we look at equity, it is about giving the opportunities to learn, creating social justice. This raises questions. Are we really creating equity in a sterile environment? Are all young Australians going to become successful learners, confident and creative individuals? The purpose of a classroom is to learn, expand abilities to think and create new ideas. To get the most positive results from a class, the students need to be engaged. Engagement is positively related to academic performance, and that disengagement leads to poor academic performance. Engagement is presumed to be malleable and highly influenced by the learning environment. Student engagement is widely considered to be a meta-construct with many levels of bioecological influence. The behaviour and attitude of a teacher has an influence on the environment, but also studies have investigated the influence of the physical learning environment and the relationship this has on student engagement. This raises the question of equity again. Is the environmental support creating equity? By adjusting the physical environment, this can and will impact in a positive way on other aspects of the environment. The proposal of a new reform to the standardised classroom will increase the quality of the classroom experience. Harvard biologist Edward O. Wilson coined the term biophilia in 1984 to describe the love of nature and an affiliation to all living things. Maller took this a step further, describing it as an affiliation for nature that addresses innate psychological needs such as intellectual capacity, emotional bonding, aesthetic attraction, creativity and imagination. Biophilic classrooms are only limited by your imagination. Some features that can be used are large windows that look onto plants, trees and water features, outdoor landscapes, courtyards, natural and landscaping. These features can also be brought inside. An indoor-outdoor connection, natural ventilation and materials, extensive natural lighting, interior design that mimic forms found in nature. Natural settings ameliorate stress, improve mood states, enhance coping ability, and assist in combating depression. Research indicates that biophilic design enhances human well-being by fostering connections between people and nature in the modern built environment. Gray and Birrell performed an experiment of converting a site office very much like a shed into a biophilic office, adding plants and features resembling nature. People who worked there were interviewed and asked to rate the difference in how they felt and compare it with other offices they had worked in. The results were very obvious in favour of the biophilic environment. When asked to describe previous workspaces, there were comments like aggressive, stark, sterile, stale, cold and harsh. The staff that worked in the biophilic environment described the feel in words such as softer, softening, more functioning light and airy spaces, positive psychological effects. They also noticed improvements, increased employee functioning, increased social capability, improved workplace relations, enhanced collaboration amongst staff, including across teams, improved morale, mitigation against stress, increased cooperation and mentoring, improved work satisfaction. The biophilic environment has benefits. The neural consequences of environmental enrichment have been widely examined, and children's concentration and work patterns improved after participating in activities in green surroundings. Moreover, the experience of nature in a neurological sense can help strengthen the activities of the right hemisphere of the brain and restore harmony to the functions of the brain as a whole. Also, the cognitive benefits of contact with nature have been identified by various studies and indicate that nature improves awareness, reasoning, observation skills, creativity, concentration, and imagination. And as one scientist puts it, we can now assume that just as children need good nutrition and adequate sleep, they may very well need contact with nature. The effects of a childhood without contact with nature include diminished senses, attention difficulties, and a disassociation from nature. In order to create more equity in the classroom environment, conversion to a biophilic educational setting benefits all people, students and teachers, in the reduction of stress while also increasing mental function. The sterile environment may benefit some students and teachers, but it does not benefit all.